So you've made it to day 7 of our new Coach Quick Start course. Yay, well done. I congratulate you on getting this far. So today, pretty much you've learned what you need in order to get your wheels turning to start this coaching business effectively. Make sure you work through from video 1 through to this one. Some of them have got additional documents which I would have pointed out in the videos to you. This video has an additional document called Objections. I've just added it up into our team page. You'll find it in Unit 11 as well, under scripts and templates to help you. So this is really about dealing with rejection, dealing with those no's and how to sort of get around it. So you are going to have a lot of no's. You need to send out an awful lot of invites. And in those invites, the majority of those initially will be no's. But the way to look at it is it's not an immediate no, it's a seed that you have sown. And there are very few coaches and challengers who you invite and they immediately say yes. And just think about your story. I bet you didn't say yes straight away when I approached you or your upline approached you. I didn't either. It took several goes. It was about 5 times for my upline to contact me before I actually decided I was going to give this a shot. And that's the same with a lot of people. The important thing to remember is when you actually contact somebody, whether that's just you've just made friends with them, they're a new follower that you've accepted, or whether you've sent them an invite, or whether you've just connected on social media somehow, you're going to have several connections and several possible invitations to different things down the line before they actually say yes. And to keep the flow up, I would it really depends on the individual and on the conversation that you're having. But if somebody gives you out a flat out, no, I'm not interested, then maybe approach them again in a month's time. But most people will keep an eye on what you are doing. They won't. You'll not know that they're there. Most of them, you'll have absolutely no idea that they're watching you, but they are. Believe me. Which is why it's so important to make sure that your social media content, so that your feed on your Facebook and your Instagram or whichever platform you use, is being consistently updated. That's why you really need to be posting every day, because that's going to help people build trust in you and also get to know who you are. Because essentially there are, I think there's about 450,000 coaches in the network, and people will choose you because of who you are. And so it's really important that you're not just sharing your coaching journey and your health and fitness journey. That's where those other 5 things that we've mentioned consistently over this last video series comes into its sort of importance, really, and value. You need to be sharing the other facets of your life that make you you as well. So that people can start to resonate with you and identify with you and decide eventually that they have enough trust in you, that they like you, that they will come and join you. So when somebody says no, it is a seed that is sown most of the time. Even the outright no's. I've had some absolutely vociferous no's, and some of them have asked me for help, which is great. Often there's a little bit of ego involved in it, particularly if you're approaching somebody about maybe the coaching opportunity and they're already running a business, and they don't see why on earth they'd want to be associated with some MLM, and then they're watching what's going on in the background, and they're thinking, actually maybe that would be good for me. And that might be 6 months down the line, it might be a year down the line, it might be 3 years down the line. But if there is any avenue in their life that makes them think, or maybe their circumstances change. If you're running your own business and you're only getting paid for the hours that you work, which is what a lot of us are, we all have a heart to help people. But when you're only being paid by the hour for your work, you hit that ceiling very fast, and also you get absolutely exhausted from it because it's just relentless, and there's no real, you can't really hike your prices that much. You can only fit so many people in the day, and there's no chance for progression, income progression, or time freedom, which is what this coaching opportunity offers us. and you find that people will they'll initially say a fairly stroppy no to you. How dare you approach me? You've just offered me the chance of a lifetime. No, I don't want that. Some people are like that, but they will watch. And then they'll realise when their ego has sort of taken a step back or two that actually it's an amazing opportunity. So don't judge people. We all come from different places. The other slightly bad thing is there's so much rubbish out there. What we offer is outstanding on a coaching level and also on a product level. But when we are inviting people to join us, whether that's in the business or in our boot camps, people don't appreciate the quality of the products and the opportunities that we have at our hands. So it's up to us to inform them and to educate them, whether that's through your social media content, whether that's through direct messaging or a combination of both. So it's really important to remember that. Never take a no as a no. Stay friendly. The way I do it is I'm here to help people, and I actually offer an awful lot of freebies. So if somebody, if it's clear that they're not interested right now, the time isn't good for them for whatever reason, their fears are sort of holding them back, even though we might have already talked about their fears. Sometimes it just takes people a little bit of time to mull it over so that the time is right for them. And so I always offer freebies. So either I'll offer them access into a free group. If I'm not running a free group, I'll say, if I'm talking to them about nutrition, I know the time's not right for you, or it's, I know you're not interested in what we have to offer right now, but would you like me to send you over a free nutrition plan or some clean eating recipes just to help you? And people generally come back and say, yes, please. Or I've got some, we have several free workout links. And again, I'll offer those. Would you like some freebie workouts, or would you like this specific free workout? If I know that they've got, if they're a cardio bunny, for instance, and I've got some freebies that we've had through various launches, I'll offer them those. And that just opens up the door for me to give them something. And it also enables them to really experience the quality of our products with no commitment to themselves at all. Even though everything is covered by the 30-day money-back guarantee, there is absolutely no pressure on them at all. So, if they're not ready to sign up for the coaching opportunity, if they're not ready to join the boot camp or a free group, offer them a freebie. Always be the one to offer. And if people don't come back to you after you've offered the freebie, it doesn't matter. Follow up with them. Put them in your follow-up list. I will add them to my connection builder, and I'll make sure to follow up with them in maybe a month's time and just let them know. Probably, if it was a fairly strong no, I'll let them know that I'm running a free group so that they, again, they're getting more free information. And then when they're in the free group, of course, I always offer the Beachbody On Demand 2 weeks free trial, because who wouldn't try it? It's just amazing. And then if they've tried the 2 weeks free trial and they enjoy it, then they might then be willing to start to join one of your boot camps. They might not. They might just be a collector of freebies, and if that's the case, it doesn't matter. You've still helped somebody on so many different levels. So that's the way to approach it. Always come from a place of openness. Try and keep your emotion out of it. It's not a no for you personally. Just a no to that particular opportunity that you have offered to them. And it's the way I look at it is, if I get a no, I find it quite exciting, because I don't just accept the no. So I will say, well, is that the only issue? Is price the only issue? Is time the only issue? Because it opens up the conversation if they're willing to chat about it a bit more. Some people will just ignore you, which is okay, fine. Then I'll go and offer a freebie sort of a week later. I'll probably say something like, hey, I'm not sure if you saw my last message to you. I don't want to pester you and I don't want to pressure you at all, but I was just wondering, would you like this particular freebie? And often they'll come back and say, yes, please. And it's really nice, because you've opened up the door again to chat. And just make sure you're staying on top of that. But keep it conversational, keep it really natural. That's why I tend not to like scripts, because everybody's circumstance is slightly different. And I think if you can relate to something in either their feed or, something that you might have seen pop up on their feed, on their social media, it just makes it more personal. And I think that's a lot nicer. And that's why I think voice memos are so effective, is the fact that obviously it's coming from you. There's not a virtual assistant sat there doing copy paste, and it's just more authentic. And I think it's a better way to establish an authentic and heartfelt relationship with people. But I understand in the early days is a little bit scary. You know, maybe even have a script out on screen. And if you're brave enough to try the voice memo, I really recommend it. I think it's a lovely opportunity to use. And when I use it on a lot of people, they had no idea that they could actually send a voice memo. There are countless people that say back to me, oh, it's the first voice memo I've ever received, and I never knew I could use it, and so I'm going to send you one back. And it adds a bit of fun to it as well. So I would highly recommend using the voice memo. And if you need to, just sort of have a script in front of you so that you can kind of, you know, read off it if you need to, but don't make it sound like you are reading off it. And if the worst comes to the worst and you completely stumble over your words, either say, I can't believe it, I'm making such a mess, and I'm going to re-record this message and send it again. Or once it's sent, you can actually delete that message. You can unsend the message. So you click on it. I think you either click on it once or you click on it a second time, and it will give you the option to unsend. So you can take it back again. So, you know, don't be afraid of using voice memos. It's a really nice, personable way of getting in touch with somebody. So have a look at the document that I've added called Objections. It covers most of the obvious objections, if not all of the obvious objections. And it also gives you tools to ask more probing questions like the tell me more, or is that the only issue? Because often, you know, people might say, I haven't got time, but it's not that. It's because they're afraid that they're not going to achieve their goals. It's afraid that they're not going to shift that last 10 pounds. It's they're afraid that they're going to give up on themselves again because they've not been part of the boot camp like we run. They've not been part of our structure. Or, you know, if it's a coaching opportunity, they might be afraid that the initial investment is too much. You know, my tribe is a lot of single mothers, and so we're all short of money. You know, single parenthood, there is nothing rich about being a single parent. And so, and particularly when you've got kids to look after, yeah, you cannot be affording to waste money. So they've got the money back guarantee, but also, you know, highlight to them, show how easy it is to soon be making around £1,000, $1,000 a month. In fact, I'm going to put a new coach webinar together for you, and that is I'm also going to add in that I want to show you pictorially how over the course of 3 months, when you're taking on 3 people every month, how you can hit that near £1,000 income already. So I will share that. And whether I get a chance to get that done today or not, I'm not sure, but I will be adding it very soon. So really, it's just again, it'll summarize the sorts of things that we've discussed this week. So have a look at that objections document that I've added, and just go for it. Just, you know, I think it was in for day 1 of our 7-day quick start video series where I mentioned the importance of mindset, and it is so vitally important. We have such an amazing opportunity to offer people, and not everybody will accept it. Not everybody's going to understand the value that we know we have. But it's up to us to try and educate and inform through private messaging and also our social media. And that's why it's so important as a coach that you are posting daily on your social media, and try and relate your posts. So you've got your Instagram stories and your feed, your Instagram or your Facebook feed, and all relating to something similar. So you're following a theme. And if you've got like a free group or a challenge group starting, or a coaching opportunity starting up, you know, make sure that your social media posting is aligning with your marketing plan as well, because then it all makes much more sense. So I hope that makes sense for you, but just come from a place of excitement and opportunity. You know, we have something amazing. So it's up to us to message that to other people, because it's not about selling products. It's about changing lives. And that's what we are all about. And when you come from that, when you remind yourself that some people will need convincing, they won't need forcing, but they might need a polite push to actually give us a go. They're completely protected by the 30-day money-back guarantee, so they've got absolutely nothing to lose. All they can do is gain, just gain. And when you come from that, when you've got that in the back of your mind, it makes getting out there and sharing your story a whole lot easier. So I hope that's helpful, and have a great rest of your day. Any questions, let me know, and let's go. You can hit the ground running now. It's so exciting. But of course, you know, I'll still be adding further trainings to this, and when new things come up, when we've got new product launches, I've added something in our team page today, so have a look out for that. You know, keep your eyes on the team page. It's really important, probably on a daily basis, for you to be dipping in there just to check what's been added, and if there's any sort of coach breaking news that you need to be aware of. Also need to be making sure that you're checking into your coach office every day and just looking at the breaking news, because there'll be information and trainings there for you, which you know, if you miss out on, then you might miss out on a product launch, and they are a great way to generate new business. So I think I've finished. I will talk to you soon.